Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Bollywood This Week. The third film which we are going to review this week is a Malayalam movie which every person, every boy, every girl, every man, every woman in Kerala is waiting with bated breath. The future superstar, the present superstar, Nivin Pauli's film action hero Biju. But before that, I would like to thank all the cuties and chittas of my Malayalam film audiences for crossing 3,000 views for Dulquer Salman's film Charlie. Thank you guys. It was really appreciated. It was a very good movie. As I predicted, first day, first show, it was a super hit in Kerala. So, here I am, first day, first show, with the review of the film Action Hero Biju. First of all, the movie's name is very wrong. Action Hero Biju. What does come to you? What comes to your mind when you hear the name Action Hero Biju? A typical South Indian movie where the main male protagonist is a police inspector. We'll have fights, we'll have a villain, we'll have a heroine, we'll have dance sequences. Typical masala film with comedians. Rubbish. This film breaks the myth and has brought police in such a good light, and hats off to Mr. Abrid Shaini and Mohammad Shafiq for writing a fabulous movie. I think Mohammad Shafiq and Abrid Shaini should get a national award for this movie. The writing is so strong. I mean, people are crying, in Bollywood, in Telugu cinema, okay, we don't have writers. Malayalam cinema has emerged and emerged how? With action hero Biju. Action hero Biju stars obviously Naveen Pauly, Anu Emmanuel, Joju George, and a dozen tons of actors in the star cast. The film is directed by Abrid Shaini, salute sir, written by Mohammad Shafaq and Abrid Shaini, produced by obviously Naveen Pauly's first film as a producer. So happy for this guy. I mean, 3 years back, if you told me, okay, I want to cast Naveen Pauly in a tough police inspector and the name of the movie will be Action Hero Biju, I would have laughed my ass off. Okay, this guy, after seeing Bangalore Days, would become a police, but Naveen Pauly has given a beautiful performance. He can give anyone run for the money. All the Singhams and Dabangs can come and take a leaf out of Naveen Pauly's book and how you play a tough cop with brains. The music, the background score by Mr. Rajesh Murugan is fabulously shown. Let me tell you this movie is a little bit inspired from Jake Gyllenhaal's movie End of Watch. Not many people have seen this movie End of Watch, but its premise is very similar. There is no story in the movie. It is Naveen Pauly, who is a police officer, his life journey, or to say his journey in the Eranakulam police station, how he handles the cases, and how the movie ends is the story of the film. He has a love interest, Benita, who is played by Anu Emmanuel. She is gorgeous. I mean, I have never seen a Malayali girl, as beautiful as Anu Emmanuel. She is drop dead gorgeous, fabulous in the movie. Nivin Pauly is going to get married to her in a month's time. That is the only story in the movie. Apart from that, how Nivin Pauly and Minu sir, obviously played by Joju George, and police inspectors carry out the day-to-day activities in the police station. That's the story of action hero Biju. So this review is going to tell you the incidents which take place in the movie. There are 15 to 16 cases which are solved in this movie. Fabulous. 2.5 hours of movie keeps you edge and grip till the end of the film. The first case is a dog bite scene. A very wealthy man, is leaves his dogs on children, and the dog bites the children. So one day Nivin Pauly gets a call that that dog of this rich man has bit the girl, and we go to the hospital scene and we have seen that this girl is very brutally bitten. So Nivin Pauly calls the guy and he tells, I'm in Bangalore. These guys trace him to in Kerala only. He's been dragged from a club, bang, bruised, and Nivin Pauly has a special style in this film. He hits with his left hand. He's a lefty in the movie, and he takes a coconut and trashes them. This is the first story. Fabulous story. How his MLAs come and tell him to they'll transfer Nivin Pauly, and how, without showing excessive heroism, Nivin Pauly, just through his expressions and his dialogue, just solves this case beautifully. The second case is that of the biker gang. Two guys with afro hair, so long hair, are not wearing helmets and don't have number plates. Eventually, Niveen Pauly tells them, "Why the hell don't you wear helmets?" So they'll, "My hair will get spoiled, the hairstyle gets spoiled." Niveen Pauly trashes them out and tells them to cut their hair and wear helmets. The third case is obviously the man who has bath in the open. Hilarious scene. Two aunties come to the police station and complain that there is a man in the neighborhood, a short and a dark guy, who bathes in the open. So Naveen Poli tells them, "So if it is a handsome guy, would you object?" So they say, "No, sir. If it is handsome, we will like it." Beautiful comment in this movie. This is the third case which eventually Naveen Poli solves. The fourth case is the missing wife. The wife of a man has gone missing, but eventually, when Niveen Pauly calls both the parties, the man and the wife, we come to know that the wife, the kid, the wife is not through his husband and she doesn't want to live with him. And that case is solved. Very heart touching scene of a man who cannot give a kid to the wife and how he leaves the position is fabulous. The sixth case is that of a woman's suicide. A woman, along with her small daughter, jumps into the river and suicide. Two naval officers, out of them one goes and rescues them. Naveen Pauly goes to the crime scene and rescues her daughter, but the daughter dies and one naval officer is missing. This scene is fabulously high on emotional content. Then during this, Naveen Pauly is a regular visitor to the schools for felicitation, for functions, and how one day he lectures the students. Okay, the teachers hate you. This is out of prem. This is out of love. Outside, the beating which you get from police is not out of love. So respect the teachers. Fabulous lines. I mean, the writing by Mohammed Shafaq and Abrid Shiny is so nice. I am in awe of this movie. So eighth case is that of the lungi beggar. This beggar is drunk daily, opens his lungi, doesn't wear his underwear. Hilarious scene. Niveen Pauly how puts itching plants in his lungi, ties him out, takes him to the police station where he is made to sing songs, again beaten and thrown inside. The interval point comes. The interval point is so hilarious in the movie. One day Joju George eventually at a chai tea stall, tries to put his police belt and leaves his, walkie-talkie there, which is being captured by a roadside drunkard who eventually orders the whole, city police that I am not Cobra, I am King Cobra. And the chief minister is arriving. The commissioner gets so mad, and because this bichara Minumoi, Jiju George, is suspended. This is the eighth case of the movie. Apparently, Niveen Pauly eventually one day, just by luck, catches this drunkard and talks, very romantically to the wife and lands to his house where they find the transistor which eventually this guy had robbed. The ninth case which they solve is a drug case. A very serious case. One day, a woman complains to the police station that a robbery has taken place in a house and a chain has been snatched. But Niveen Pauly, when he goes and searches the house, he finds ganja packets, marijuana packets from eventually the Gajni poster of Amir Khan. He traces it to the school kid. The son eventually in the ganja, in the high of that ganja, eventually hits her own mother. Very emotional scene, very high on content. The 11th case which Niveen Pauly solves in this movie is that this guy eventually leads them to people who are actually supplying ganja to the school kids. Apparently in a swift car, a drug nexus, a ganja has been caught along with three school going kids. Niveen Pauly brings them to the police station and apparently all the mothers of these three kids have been brought to the police station. Very emotional scene. How Niveen Pauly lectures them and how he lets them go is fabulously shown in this movie. The 14th case, I did not get bored in this movie. Each case is so beautifully written. It is a fabulous movie. 14th case in this movie is that of a couple, living, and they have, reported that jewelry sets have been missing from a house. This traces to the maid who works with them, but she is on leave, she left the job. How Niveen Pauly captures that maid, and that maid eventually is a daughter of the headmaster, the girl who Niveen Pauly eventually felicitates during the teacher's function. Due to sympathy, still Niveen Pauly keeps his work in front and eventually arrests that maid with the 15th case. Then along this is going on, there's a whole chain snatching nexus going on in the Ernakulam district of Kerala, and how Niveen Pauly is searching for this gang also. We also have the marriage, Nivin Pauly, which is going to take place. So he goes to invite the commissioner, the SI, everyone. They go for shopping. There are songs also in between. Beautiful chemistry by Anu Emmanuel and Nivin Pauly. In between, they talk with each other also. So it's a non-linear story. The story starts with Nivin Pauly eventually being stabbed in the stomach, and how the last case where he goes to find the main chain snatching gang is the climax of the film. It is fabulous. When the movie ends, the dialogues are fabulous. I am not going to end here. You know, Biju will continue his work irrespective of the hurdles which I face. All these things are fabulous in the movie. Epic. You know, the Biju played by Navin Polly will be an immensely loved character in Kerala, and it's going to be a bigger hit than Premam. Especially the scene where a gay comes and approaches Navin Polly is fabulously. Don't miss this scene, it is extremely hilarious. I give action hero Biju 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a beautifully written movie in Malayalam film industry. Fabulous. Nivin Pauly is the best inspector after I have seen after Khaka Khaka. You know, he is fabulous. He can give the Dabangs and the Singhams a run for their money. Superstar in the making. Well, friends, he's already a superstar. The film was super houseful, super audience, and all the Malayali fans were enjoying their hearts out. So, friends, keep watching Bollywood this week. Like and subscribe to the channel.